Welcome to West Virginia.
Hey everyone! We had a wonderful time last week exploring West Virginia's northern panhandle. We stayed at another beautiful Ohio State Park, where we were just a short drive from the historic West Virginia cities of Moundsville and Wheeling. We learned about an ancient burial mound, toured a haunted penitentiary, and learned about the formation of the great state of West Virginia. Now we are traveling deeper into the mountains of West Virginia, where we will be exploring a beautiful national park, check out a few waterfalls and state parks, and even tour an old coal mine. It was a beautiful but very rainy drive from Bark Camp State Park in Ohio to our new campground just outside of Beckley, West Virginia. From here, we would enjoy scenic views of Lake Stephens, as well as venture out to Beckley's Exhibition Coal Mine, Bluestone and Babcock State Parks, and of course, New River Gorge National Park. Despite its name, the New River is actually one of the oldest rivers in the world. It is 360 miles long and travels through North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. This scenic river is popular for whitewater rafting and kayaking. Part of the river cuts through this gorge, providing the scenic splendor and the need for a bridge that the New River Gorge National Park and Preserve is known for. We were so excited to visit the country's newest national park, established in 2020. This park covers over 70,000 acres and protects a 53-mile stretch of the New River. Entry into the park is free. There are several ways you can enjoy this park, from hiking and rafting to auto touring and scenic overlooks. We chose to start our adventure in this park by crossing the New River Gorge Bridge and stopping by the main visitor center. The Canyon Rim Visitor Center sits across the bridge from Fayetteville and is a great place to stop by and plan your visit to the park. While at the Canyon Rim Visitor Center, you can pick up a map of the park, learn about some of the history and features of the area, and check out the impressive New River Gorge and the bridge. There is an observation area inside the visitor center and an upper and lower overlook outside. There are 178 steps down to the lower overlook, but the view is worth having to climb back up. The main draw to this national park is the New River Gorge Bridge. This impressive bridge was completed on October 22, 1977. It is the longest steel span in the Western Hemisphere, and standing 876 feet above the New River, it is the third highest bridge in the United States. It took 3 years to build, and when completed, it turned a 45-minute windy mountain drive into a 45-second trip across the top of the gorge. The bridge is 3,030 feet long and weighs 88 million pounds. It was constructed with Core 10 steel, which has a rust-like appearance and never needs to be painted. You get a great view of the gorge when driving over the bridge, but you don't really get how impressive this bridge is until you view it from one of the many overlooks in the park, or by driving underneath it on Fayette Station Road. Thousands of people visit the area on Bridge Day, which is celebrated on the third Saturday of October. This is the only time the bridge is open to pedestrians, and hundreds of base jumpers take the leap from atop the bridge and down into the gorge. Bridge Day is West Virginia's largest one-day festival, and it is the largest one-day extreme sports event in the world. Those who are brave enough can do the Bridge Walk, which is a guided tour across the catwalk underneath the bridge, providing excellent views of the gorge beneath you. It's a 2+ hour tour that starts at $79 per adult. This was a little out of our price range, so we had to pass, but it does look pretty cool. Comment below if you were brave enough to do the bridge walk, and how was your experience? After viewing the bridge at the Canyon Rim Visitor Center, we decided to catch a unique side-on view while hiking the popular Long Point Trail. The Long Point Trailhead is just a 5-mile drive across the bridge from the Canyon Rim Visitor Center, and it has a fairly decent-sized parking lot, but it can fill up quickly during peak times. The Long Point Trail is an out-and-back trail, 1.6 miles one way, with moderate difficulty and 344 feet of elevation gain. It is a pleasant stroll through the forest, with the last 0.2 mile being a steep walk to a rocky cliff. The payoff is worth it as you come out onto a large rock outcrop with incredible views of the bridge and the gorge below. Another popular hike in the area is the Endless Wall Trail. We came here on a late Saturday morning and the parking lots and road were packed with cars and hikers. We decided to skip this one and just be content with the view of the endless wall we had while on the Long Point Trail. If you are hungry after the hike, don't forget to stop at the nearby Swiftwater General Store to pick up some of West Virginia's state food, Pepperoni Rolls. A pepperoni roll is a soft dough filled with sticks or slices of pepperoni. This portable shelf-stable snack was perfect for coal miners to take into the mine with them and eat for lunch. The miners could eat the roll with one hand, drink water with the other, and then quickly return back to work. It is very simple but effective and absolutely delicious. Don't forget to grab a delicious locally baked cookie from here too. Another neat way to experience this impressive bridge is by driving the old road that connected both sides of the gorge before the new bridge was built. Fayette Station Road winds down to the bottom of the gorge, crosses over the new river, and then winds its way back up. It is now a one-way 8-mile long road that visitors can take to enjoy scenic views of the river and bridge. Because the road is so windy and narrow, large vehicles, RVs, and trailers are not recommended. It takes about 45 minutes to drive the 8 miles through the gorge, and the road crosses under the new bridge 3 times, offering stunning views. When you get to the bottom of the gorge, you will cross the river on this reconstruction of the old Fayette Station Bridge that reopened in 1998. If you don't want to do the Long Point Trail hike we showed earlier, this is a great place to get some side view shots of the bridge as well. This drive is a must-do if you have an appropriate vehicle. Thurmond is another popular spot to visit in the national park. In the early 1900s, this quiet ghost town was a bustling boom town. Tucked among the many coal mines in the area, Thurmond was the largest revenue generator on the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway. And the town's banks were once the richest in the state, with many coal barons as patrons. 15 passenger trains came through town each day, bringing business to the hotels, boarding houses, saloons, and stores. Thurmond's decline began with the Great Depression, followed by local mine closures and the C&O Railway switching from steam to diesel locomotives. Steam locomotives needed regular maintenance and frequent stops to refill coal and water. When the railway made the switch to diesel, many of Thurmond's rail yard structures and jobs immediately became obsolete, such as this coaling tower, and the water towers that no longer stand here. Thurmond is now mostly a ghost town managed by the National Park Service as a living look into the history of the area. The Thurmond Depot has been restored and now serves as a visitor center. The commissary opened in 1929 to provide food and supplies to railroad workers. It later became Thurmond's post office, which was in operation until 1995. In the late 90s, Thurmond Supply operated out of the old post office, renting out bikes and selling ice cream, until they closed a few years later, becoming the last business that operated in the town of Thurmond. The railroad track is still an active CSX railway, and Thurmond remains a flag stop for Amtrak passengers. Though Thurmond went from boomtown to ghost town, the history and heritage here speaks volumes, and is on display for those national park visitors willing to drive the narrow, winding road down to the town. There is also a very nice waterfall along the road that we couldn't help but stop and take photos of. Grandview is another part of the park, about 45 miles from the new River Gorge Bridge and just 13 miles from Beckley. There is a small visitor center here, as well as hiking trails and picnicking areas. This was originally one of West Virginia's most popular state parks, before being taken over by the National Park Service in 1990. Here, the new river makes a horseshoe bend around Bacchus Mountain. The accessible main overlook at Grandview stands 1,400 feet above the new river, the highest point top to bottom in the park, and it absolutely presents a grand view. We also walked down the Grandview Rim Trail a little ways to another, less busy overlook. Another cool part of the national park is Sandstone Falls. The largest waterfall on the river, Sandstone Falls spans the new river where it is 1,500 feet wide. It is a bit of a drive to get there, but the roads are scenic and the waterfalls are totally worth it. From I-64, you will exit and drive 10 miles upstream to the small town of Hinton, where you will cross the New River and then drive 8 miles downstream to the falls. While driving upstream towards Hinton, you can view the falls from 600 feet above at the Sandstone Falls overlook. The most impressive view, however, is at the Sandstone Falls day use area, where a short boardwalk trail will provide incredible views of these rushing waterfalls. There are some amazing West Virginia state parks in the area. Near Sandstone Falls is Bluestone State Park. This park lies at the confluence of the Bluestone and New Rivers. The nearby Bluestone Dam created the 2,040-acre Bluestone Lake. The state park provides many recreational opportunities, such as boating, fishing, camping, and hiking. Bluestone State Park is free to enter, and there are several pullouts along Route 20 where you can stop and take in the majestic views. Babcock State Park is located about 20 miles southeast of the New River Gorge. It is a beautiful park most known for the Glade Creek Grist Mill. This mill was completed in 1976 and is a fully functional replica of the original, known as Cooper's Mill. It was built with materials from 3 other mills from around the state, and now stands as a monument to the over 500 mills that once dotted the West Virginia countryside. The Glade Creek Grist Mill grinds fresh cornmeal, which visitors can purchase depending on availability. The mill is also a popular spot for photos. And just behind the visitor center is some waterfalls with the mill in the background. Hawk's Nest is another popular state park in the New River Gorge area. We did not visit the state park during our time here, but we did stop by the nearby Cathedral Falls. It was a scenic drive down a windy mountain road to get to the small parking lot near the town of Golly Bridge. After parking, it is just a short walk to view the falls from a small bridge, or you can walk along a rugged trail to get a better view. Here, Cane Creek falls 60 feet to form one of West Virginia's highest waterfalls. We've seen photos and videos of this waterfall and it looked raging, but it was a little light on the day we came here. Still, this was a nice place to stop at down a beautiful scenic road. We spent the week at Lake Stephens, a Raleigh County park. The campground here includes tent camping, cabin rentals, and 2 RV campgrounds. We stayed at the newer RV campground, which was a quiet and beautiful loop with much more spacious sites than the older campground down the hill. It cost us $300 for full hookups for the week as non-county residents. In addition to the campground, there is much more to do here at this 2,300-acre park. There is a marina and beach, which were closed for the season during our visit here in October. There is also a disc golf course and an overlook and picnic area, complete with one of West Virginia's picturesque almost heaven benches. Here at the overlook, you can get a pretty great view of the beautiful Lake Stephens. Our campground was just 12 miles from the city of Beckley, West Virginia. Beckley is a pretty good gateway to the national park. It is also home to the Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine. This coal mine is part of the new River Park, which includes the coal mine tour and museum, coal camp historic buildings, a youth museum, and a mountain homestead, as well as a pool, campground, and trails. A ticket for the exhibition coal mine costs $22 per adult and includes the mine tour and museum, coal camp buildings, and admission to the youth museum and mountain homestead. Inside the Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine Museum, we learned about the history of coal mining in the area. When it was time for our underground mine tour, we walked outside the building and hopped on a 35-person tram, where our guide took us into the old coal mine. The Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine was originally the Phillips Sprague Mine, which opened in 1889. It eventually closed and was given to the city of Beckley, and after some renovations, it was opened as an exhibition mine where visitors can go inside and learn about the pick and shovel days of coal mining. We learned that the height of many mines were only 3 feet tall, forcing miners to work on their knees. Wages in the 1920s ranged from 48 cents to 70 cents per ton, with miners averaging 8 or 9 tons a day. Deductions for rent, electricity, tools, and company store advances were taken out of miners' paychecks, oftentimes leaving the miners still in debt. Many miners traveled a mile or more to get to their workspace inside the mine, in shafts not tall enough to stand in. Guides at the Exhibition Coal Mine are veteran miners, and ours did a wonderful job explaining the different tools miners used and how they mined the coal.
All right, lights back in the old days was candles. You had candle you had on your hat. That's what you worked by, and it worked pretty good for a long time. You couldn't move very fast because the candle would blow out. So, and then you didn't have to worry too much about that because there wasn't a whole lot of oxygen underground. But then we turned and started making these little teapot lights. You would fill it up with your kerosene, lamp oil, light this little wick, and that little hook would hook on your hat. And that's what you would work by, was that little lamp burning out there. Now it's open flame, and it did cause a lot of problems with fires and explosions. And we used them up until about the late 30s. Then we started using the carbide lights. But we're going to make some acetylene gas, and we're going to use it as a light. This is the light that they used in the 40s up until in the 50s, all right? So I'm going to add a little water to that calcium carbide. You see that smoke coming out of there? That is acetylene gas. And when I seal it up, it starts pressurizing in here, comes out this little spout right here in the front. I got a little flint and a little wheel here, and I'm going to make a spark and light it up for you. It's gonna pop a little bit, so don't be worried about that. That's my hand up here, all right? Everybody ready? And that's the way you would light it up. Same type of little hook here on the back of it. So you hook that on your hat and work with it. How about that? If you got your hand cold, you could warm it up like that, all right? Now these were outlawed in around 1955 because they caused a lot of explosions too. This will burn for about 4 hours or so, and then you had to refuel it. And if you didn't have a buddy with you while his was burning, you learn how to do it in the dark. So I'm gonna show you how dark it gets. If you want, you can take your hand like this in front of your face, or touch your nose with your finger. Just make sure it's your finger touching your nose. All right, everybody ready? So cover up anything that has a little light on it, and I'll show you how dark it gets. And it won't be but just a second or two. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. It's dark instantly.
This was a really neat experience that we would highly recommend you do if you are in the Beckley area. Underground tours last approximately 35 minutes, as a few stops are made along the 1,500-foot track, where guides will give demonstrations on mining and mining equipment. After our underground tour was finished, we walked around the old coal camp buildings that are on display. This includes the church, school, superintendent's home, company house, and the single miner shanty. There are also guides inside some of the buildings that can answer any questions you may have about the old coal camps. The miner's shanty was for a single coal miner or a married miner working away from home for the week. Rent for this small one-room home would have been around $2 a month. The company house was a bit roomier than the shanty, averaging 3 to 4 rooms. It was a simple house but perfect for raising a family in. Rent was deducted from the miner's paycheck, and often to make ends meet, beds would be rented out to single miners. The superintendent's home is a 3-story home for the mine boss. This particular super's home has a reproduction company doctor's office, post office, and barber shop on the 2nd floor. Not normally found in the superintendent's house, these are here just to show what these offices and services might have looked like. In addition to the exhibition coal mine and coal camp, New River Park is also home to the Youth Museum of Southern West Virginia. This is a neat little museum with rotating exhibits perfect for children. The exhibit during our visit was on bugs.
Did you know that my light is caused by a chemical reaction inside my body? When I light up, it's called bioluminescence. Don't worry, it's not hot. It's called a cold light. And I pull this rope.
Oh! Behind the Youth Museum is the recreated mountain homestead. This area includes a one-room schoolhouse, a weaver's shop, and a blacksmith shop. There is also a general store and a log house. The Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine and Camp are open seasonally April 1st through November 1st. A visit to this area would not be complete without a quick meal at Tudor's Biscuit World. This West Virginia-based restaurant serves biscuits, biscuit sandwiches, and home-style breakfasts and dinners. We ordered the Thundering Herd, which came with sausage, hash brown, egg, and cheese, and the Peppy, which was pepperoni and melted cheese in a biscuit. Tudor's biscuits are freshly made and are absolutely huge. We thought these sandwiches would just be normal-sized biscuits, but be aware they are enormous. They are very delicious too. Let us know in the comments what your favorite sandwich is at Tudor's. We had an amazing time in this gorgeous part of West Virginia. From checking out different views of the new River Gorge Bridge, to taking in a Grandview and visiting a new River Gorge ghost town, we loved every minute of exploring this large and historic national park. We also enjoyed the views at a few West Virginia state parks, and our own view at Lake Stephens. We also learned a lot about coal mining and living in a coal camp at the Beckley Exhibition Coal Mine. This is a beautiful and unique part of the country that you must see for yourself. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope you will join us next week as we travel to a quiet part of Virginia, where we will enjoy a relaxing drive on part of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.